guys, hope you enjoyed this episode of Sailing Nikau, where we're in the Whitsunday Islands and we've been on this catamaran for a while now. As you know, we're more used to a monohull, and the question everyone wants to know is, what do you think, a monohull or a catamaran? And of course, you know, both of them have pros and cons, and we loved sailing on our monohull. We're also loving sailing on this catamaran. Well, we're actually motoring right now to a beautiful beach, and then we're going to go for a snorkel. On this episode, I just kind of want to hit some of the things that we like about this catamaran, some of the things that we don't like, and we certainly have not decided what we want to do. We want to buy a new boat in the Mediterranean, and we're not sure whether we're going to cough up the dosh for a catamaran. That's about twice the price, around 800,000 New Zealand dollars to, I don't know, 1.5 if you want to buy a brand new one for a nice catamaran, and then where you could get a monohull for like 400,000 New Zealand dollars. It's just beautiful, like Nikau. So in any case, we're going to hit some of the pros and cons, and we're just going to enjoy some time here in the Whitsundays. Hope you enjoy this episode, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit a like, throw some comments. If you've got any questions, love to answer them. Right, the motor's broken down right in the entrance, which is, look at this thing, of course it broke down, but we can row to a little spit, which is good.
All calm on this boat, hey? No you panic. Oh god, it's there. Oh shit, where's this come from?
Everyone go on that side?
Go!
Oh god, I'll pull you back. Right on here, stay nice and close.
Bella's already in the water.
Guys, help me.
Now we're in.
It's initiation, man. No one really understands it.
There's ants on me. I go for a relaxing beach swim. I feel like they're not actually this controlled to be thrown from so close to it.
Someone is going to get injured.
Rub up your neck.
What Gary does
my hands are sandy.
Rub up your neck.
What's Sarah got stung by some sort of jellyfish.
Deadly jellyfish.
Definitely trust Australia.
It's not
to
a
be
deadly
one of those places. But so good news. We have a lifeguard on duty and he's doing his job.
Got the vinegar, a bit of vinegar.
Looks like milk in a bottle.
Oh, it really hurts. I want to get the can back on.
I wouldn't touch it, Sarah.
I'm just trying to rub it in like Gary's
Right.
telling me.
If this doesn't soothe it, then we'll boil the kettle and try and get some hot water in it.
Boil the kettle.
Urine can work.
Oh, it's just very red.
It really hurts now.
Because it feels like being scraped on concrete, you said.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
no.
feels like it's just like all the skin's been grazed off.
Ugh.
It's a little shark swimming around. See if I can show you. Hope it's not too big. Yeah, there's about 6 sharks. They're little white pointers. They're just here, they're kind of feeding, so I'm a bit freaked out. So I want to show you these, but it's out quite deep, you know, and sharks, when there's lots of them, it's okay if you outnumber them, but when they outnumber you and they're feeding, it's not so great. So there's one stingray. I can't see them now, guys. Bit of a false alarm.
Yes, Josh
Sorry.
said there was 6 sharks, and so we all ran into the water like
I
idiots.
tend to do that quite a bit.
But couldn't see anything apart from some stingrays.
I'm good at spotting stuff, but showing you what I see is tricky. Look at this beach, it's amazing. Cruise up here, see what we can see. Oh. Oh, people actually get buried in these things, right? And they fall. There's a tree. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Ah, this is beautiful. What are you doing, man? Are you like practicing your surfing?
So one of the big things about being on a boat obviously is movement, and the movement, the motion of the boat on a monohull versus a cat is quite different. Monos are more like up and down, they can be quite rolly at anchor. The cat is obviously a lot more stable, which is one of the big advantages in the anchorages. They're not moving as much. We have had pretty good weather here, so to be fair, we haven't been in a big storm. The movement has been side to side, but it's quite bearable, like it's quite pleasant almost. You can still do stuff downstairs, you can make a cup of tea, people are still reading and meditating, and Archie's studying for an exam right now. So overall I think that the cat has got my vote in terms of movement, but I haven't been in a big storm. I feel like out in the ocean, the mono might handle those big kind of ocean passages better. Depends obviously if you're going upwind or downwind. There's obviously so much more space on the cat too. A lot more room. There's 8 of us on here and we've had so much room, and it's been easy to have 8 people on this boat, whereas I think it would have been a lot more crowded on the mono.
So what we're going to do is a little bit of an example, is we're just going to throw the sail out because we're motor sailing at the moment. Sorry, we're not sailing at all, we're just motoring. There's very little wind and we are actually wanting to get to our destination quite quickly. So what happens when you don't have a sail up in a sailboat? It moves more. If we were on a monohull right now, man, we would be rocking because we're not motor sailing. So what we're going to do is throw a sail up and we're going to look at what happens with the motion of this boat just by simply having a sail up. That sail's not really going to do much. We're still going to be motor sailing. So let's check it out. We just threw up our head sail. Our head sail is kind of like the power sail. It pulls the boat forward normally. The main sail would be the one that kind of balances the boat, but it's one of the head sail, the Genoa, is much easier to throw out and pull back again, and it's made pretty much like no difference really at all. What are you doing, honey?
We're supposed to radio where we are every morning and every night. We keep forgetting, and we're supposed to do it at 9 o'clock and it's 9:46 and I just remembered. but half the time I can't reach them. Like, I think we're too far out.
So I just pulled the genoa away, and one of the cool things, clearly, when it comes to movement about a catamaran, it's just the ease of working around the deck. I mean, if you're out on the ocean, I mean, you're always going to clip in anyway, I imagine, but you're going to feel a lot safer just pulling. I always pull a genoa and right from the furler at the front of the boat, just sitting on the trampoline in a catamaran. If I was on a monohull in the open ocean, I'd be getting smashed around, and it's not a dangerous thing, but it's definitely ease of movement. Catamaran, working the sails, lifting sails, working around the deck. Catamaran's got to win hands down every single time.
That's full acceleration right there, boys. This is actually full acceleration. Oh, the fricker's about to turn off again.
And if they break, they'll
So you can lift that puppy while it's going.
for a price.
So just lift it now. Yeah,
Pay half price.
turns off.
Bloody hell, mate.
It's our little
We're at the
crappy
beach.
motor.
Some brewskis,
Here in
mate.
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
We're here on Langford Island, and we're going for a little walk to the lookout. It's pretty cute so far. It's got a big long sand spit and some snorkeling.
I love sand spits.
Yeah.
They're so cool. Meant to be lots of turtles here, right?
Well, that's what it says on the map, but who knows?
Yep.
I haven't actually seen a turtle yet, so they're everywhere.
Whoa, look at this gum tree.
Ooh,
Small, but pretty cool.
very Australian.
Yes. A lot of the Whitsunday Islands is a marine reserve, which is, I don't know, it's obviously really good, great for marine life. Makes it a little less fun for fishing, obviously, and the other big bummer is no fires allowed, and it's obviously really important here in Australia. It's so dry and bushfires are a huge problem, so there won't be any beach barbecues. But luckily on our catamaran we've got like a cool little barbie on the back, and so we're going to be doing some nice grills, and hopefully we're going to go a little bit further outside of the marine reserve and try and catch some mackerel or tuna, maybe even a swordfish. Not that we really want a swordfish because they're too beautiful, but a good like Spanish mackerel would be sweet. That's a sick tree. What is that?
I don't know what that is. But we thought they were pine trees. They're not pine trees. That looks like a...
Actually, mate, this is private property, and I would respect it if you didn't film here, because the koalas and the kangaroos, they don't like it when you film. It's private property.
Kangaroos,
be
like,
respectful if you
kangaroos
took that
can
camera
climb
away.
trees like that.
Oh, the kangaroos, mate.
Yeah, and they often,
course
the
they can.
koalas jump on the kangaroos and live in the trees.
They live together.
Yeah.
And then the wombats come around, mate. And you don't want to confront a wombat in a tree.
Here's our boat down in the bay. Nice little leopard 42 catamaran. Jazzy, tell us about the tree.
So this special tree, actually, it's a Whitsunday bottle tree found only in the Whitsundays, and it stores like all the water it needs for like the year in its trunk when it gets rain. It's pretty cool. Why it's so thick. Yeah.
Still yet to see the spotted lizard and the, what is it? Rock wallaby. Rock wallabies, you know, wallabies. Pretty much like a minor sized kangaroo. One of them.
There's a iguana in here, guys.
Let's try and find a bigger one. Finally got a decent sized one. Hey buddy. Well, he's definitely not sunbathing.
Yeah, no,
It's beautiful, eh? Look at that tail.
Yeah. It's almost like a snake. You would think it's a snake if it was like hidden in the bush. Yeah. Wow. It's actually pretty cool.
Well, we're staying on the mainland though. We can go inland.
Yes.
From the deep blue underworld.
So this is the entrance. We're going to be heading through here today and heading off to Hamilton Island to fill up with some water because we don't have a water maker.
Special green ants there.
Pretty cool little ants.
Pretty awesome.
Tell us about this rock, Archie. Tell us why is it one big slab? Why hasn't it broken up?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure, but I think it could be an old magma chamber. So like the magma that was below a volcano that solidified, and the rock above it got worn away by like wind, rain, all that kind of thing, and pushed up over time. And that's why it's kind of one thing, because it's stronger than the rock above it. But can't say for sure. I know this area was volcanically active, so it's possible.
It's massive.
It's huge.
Huge big rock. It looks like we're walking across a dinosaur's backbone. Hey, we found the others. We'd lost them for a while.
So it's
We got really lost.
confusing loop.
We've been everywhere, up and down, all around. 99 balls of bear on the wall.
You like she went to walkabout on the Australian outback. They're just like part of their family. Yeah.
You're not part of it.
So we're here at Hamilton Island. It's been a beautiful sunset. We've sailed in here and got a kind of cool little marina vibe here going on. Lots of hotels. It's pretty like bougie really, but good restaurants and some nice food, good cocktails, bit of an elderflower sour, and it's kind of nice when you've been out in the remote places to come back to a little bit of reality.
Where he is?
He's stuck.
Where? Okay. Alright.
Mom, tell these guys to stop. You guys can stop.
Had a really great snorkel today actually. The viz wasn't amazing, but the coral was as good as anywhere that we've been, or in the top like 5. But I put the wrong little clip on my GoPro and I put it in the water and my GoPro's broken. I just bought a brand new state-of-the-art GoPro and now it's stuffed, so thank you insurance, but there will be no more dive footage on this holiday, unfortunately. Current wind is 17, much faster than what Nikau could do. Going 7.5 knots, 15 knots apparent. Wind's coming in at about 60 degrees. I think this is about how far you can push a cat, but we're going to try and push it upwind a little bit more. So she gave up on us at about 35 degrees. You know, that's great, right? Considering the balance that you've got, the stability, you can go make a cup of coffee and not worry about it going everywhere. People talk about the motion a lot on catamarans versus monohulls. The motion is certainly different on a monohull. It's more this sort of motion on the catamaran. You kind of feel like your bum's wiggling in a chair a little bit, but that's nothing to write home about. I'm really impressed. If it wasn't for the dollar value, I'd be getting the cat wheel still weigh it up, but for me, it's a depreciating asset. I prefer to have my money invested in something else and have more time on the water, not worrying about where my money's coming from. That's just me. Just motor sailing outside of the marine reserve into about 50 metres, about sort of 50 metres that you need for tuna or that kind of thing. And hopefully we'll see some humpback whales, which would be really cool. Humpback season. They're out and about. We saw them breaching yesterday. It was beautiful. They just kept jumping out of the water. Well, Archie pulled in his first little mackie, Spanish mackerel. Great to eat. Most places in the world, I think they're good to eat here. We're going to tell as soon as we open it up, we'll be able to tell what the flesh looks like. So let's do that. How was it, Archie?
Yeah, it was pretty underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie.
It was underwhelming?
I didn't even notice it was on, but saw it jumping after a wee while and just pulled it in.
See, look at that white flesh, that's nice.
It's beautiful,
I'm
right?
pretty sure we drowned it for a long time before it got pulled in, so it didn't have much fight left in it.
Yeah.
That's Cataran
A
material.
bit anticlimactic, but still pretty cool.
What are we going to make with it, babe?
Cataran soup.
Bit of raw fish salad, bit of kokonda,
No, can we just make,
ceviche.
can we make like fish bites? Can we just fry up a bunch of fish and just eat
I'm
it?
on the page of fish
I'm
bites.
cocondering. I'm
No,
on
it's not a
coconda
good
page.
thing to
Fish
coconda.
bites.
We want some fish
I think
bites.
fish bites are like on day.
What is a fish bite, technically, Bella?
You need it's something.
Nobody knows. It's provocative.
Feta, some cucumber, some oil, some pepper, salt, a
Get
little
that
bit
on
of
the table.
coriander.
Why are we facing the other boats, honey?
I don't know, because there's no wind.
We're swinging around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the wind has dropped. We've got like pork. What have we got, baby? Because you made some cool thing.
Oh yeah, I made it.
We got the motion.
Spice.
Space.
Good description.
Space.
That's fine.
Great description.
Yeah.
Amazing at explaining stuff.
And so we're just on the edge of like Whitehaven Beach,
Yes,
which is like
one
the
of the
creme
must-see.
de la creme.
Yes,
Of
we're
the
in
Whitsunday.
Tongue Bay. We've seen turtles and dugongs tonight, which is pretty
Yeah.
cool.
And we ate our mackerel already.
Oh,
It was
we
really
did.
good.
It was so good. It was
Good.
delicious.
It tasted
Nice.
like
Really
a bird
filling, David?
ate a dog.
Yeah. What's your take on catamarans, baby?
I think they're quite nice. They're not as nice when you are in a rocky situation. They don't feel as nice as a mono, but for
You
everything
mean like
else,
when it's wavy?
when it's wavy, yeah, you can't. Instead of going like this, you go. "Oh," it's not as fun, but for living, for the liverboard aspect, they're definitely better than a monohull. You get way more room, way nicer for everything else, really.
You finding this kind of sickening, aren't you?
A little bit, but
Are ya?
yeah, a wee bit.
What do you do when you're feeling sick?
Oh, you try to distract yourself. No, you're watching the horizon work.
Look at the horizon.
Yeah, but just looking at the nice scenery, so it's not a bad way to distract yourself.
Good, man.
My tip for all those people that get seasick out there is actually drink a Coke and look at the horizon. I find that the gases from the Coke go into your stomach and then you burp and you don't feel like throwing up because all of that sickness kind of comes out of you. So that's my sneaky tip for seasickness.
Dude, I don't know if you're going to be able to row against. Start up the motor again. A lot of Trevally out back, and Archie went out for a bit of fish. Really proud of him. Figured out how to work the motor. From someone who hasn't been on a boat much, Archie's taken to it. He is dangling his painter in the water, which is not very
Paint is in the water, Archie.
It's not so great.
He doesn't know what that
Gonna throw
means.
up the drone, show this beautiful Australian sunset for you, and that's it for Sailing Nikau. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and we're loving the Whitsundays. Thank you, Australia.